The McLaren 720S GT3X is not your ordinary racing car. In fact, it's not a racing car at all. Neither can it ever be driven on the road. Instead, it's an experiment into the possible. A car that costs 720 grand, that has 740 bhp, weighs just 1210 kilograms, and there will only ever be 15 examples built. So think of the GT3X as the ultimate version of what a GT3 racing car could be if there were no rules. We had a go in it recently around the fearsome Navarra circuit in northern Spain to see just how far McLaren has pushed the boundaries.
So we're talking about a seriously rare piece of kit here. One that I have promised McLaren that I will be very careful with. However, when they chuck you the keys to something like this, and it's a beautiful sunny day in northern Spain, and there's not really anyone else around, what are you going to do? This. You can just feel the aero through any corner above about 80 miles an hour. Trail brake right into the heart of each corner, and it's got this multi-stage traction control as well. I've got it on a friendly-ish setting. It'll still turn itself round. Sorry, correction. I can still turn it round if I do a silly thing with the throttle at the wrong time into a corner, or on the way out of a corner, more to the point. But this thing feels really friendly. It's phenomenally quick, of course it is. But honestly, anyone that knows roughly what they're doing, I don't think would be too terrified by this car. It takes a while to get used to the brakes. Purely just the lack of room that you need in which to stop from such huge speeds.
The engine in the GT3X is actually very similar to the one that you get in a GT3, except for the fact that in the GT3X there's no restrictor to breathe through. And that's why McLaren has managed to unlock so much more power and torque. 740 bhp with the push-to-pass system engaged. About 710, 720-ish, they say, in normal, but you know, as soon as you can press the push-to-pass button, you do. Whereas the GT3 racer has, I think they have less than 600 horsepower. That's how big the restrictor is. And it does kind of put a slightly big question mark next to the value of the GT3X beside the GT3 racer, because the GT3 racer costs about £250,000 less. But there are many other differences between the GT3 racer and the GT3X, and the aero is predominantly it. The gearbox is a 6-speed sequential, while the diff is a mechanical item but is electronically adjustable, both engineered by X-Track. The traction control and ABS are also adjustable on the move, as is the brake bias, although the discs themselves are made from steel, not carbon. At each corner sits a fat but not especially tall 18-inch Pirelli racing slick, and the aerodynamics are broadly in line with those of the GT3 racer, but with more liberal use of carbon fibre. Absolute downforce is around the 1,000 kilogram mark, says McLaren.
I mean, this just feels lovely. It rides the curves beautifully as well. And there I've just given it a little bit too much throttle too soon. Way it stops into that corner, it's just rude. And the downforce it has through here. Second, and then up to third, up to fourth, back down to first, short shift, and then this corner here is that's a kind of is it flat, is it not flat corner. And then you've got this huge, great big main straight. And I'm sort of running out of revs in 6th gear there. And then these corners at the end that really come up on you quickly.
A cynic might say the GT3X is nothing more than a racing car that will never race. They might also accuse it of being a car without purpose. But in truth, it's a whole lot more than that, because if nothing else, it provides a mobile testbed for all sorts of good stuff that McLaren's road cars will benefit from in the future. And even in the here and now, it's a mighty piece of kit, both to drive and just to get very excited about. So cheers for letting me have a go in it, McLaren. More of this in future, please.